It's Broadleaf Bullies talking shit. 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 It's Broadleaf Bullies.
What is going on? It is
Hola.
hola. It is
What's
Bully-
going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop.
I'm Kerr from Stogie Road Studios.
No.
no, yeah,
How you fuck that one up?
yeah. I gotta change my glasses because I cannot see shit.
Nobody could see him anyway.
Well,
You were looking down.
Oh,
The hat
there we
rim-
go.
The hat rim was blocking
Oh my
it.
god, that's awesome. That
2
is,
minutes into the freaking costume freaking show,
Not
and
even.
you guys are ready to take your costumes off.
I just can't see. There we go. Now I can see.
Mm.
So
Weird thing.
it is Bully Live Halloween edition.
It is.
Oh.
Fun.
Absolutely.
You know, I didn't realize like my catch for like how you introduced yourself until I was up and I went to see Angela Yu up at Grand Cathedral Cigars, and when she was all done, and then I did a little video with her and everything else, and then afterwards she goes, "Oh my god, I love your video. It's just I say your catchphrase with you," and I go, "What do you mean?" She's like, "The way you say everybody," and I'm like, "What?"
Everybody.
You know, and then she said it, and I'm like, "Oh, and I do say it that
You
way." And
do.
I
And then you
never
point.
notice, and then I point. Yeah,
Happy Halloween.
yeah.
Happy Halloween. Do you have a catchphrase?
Hmm?
Do you have a catchphrase, Jason?
I like his "Hola, brothers and sisters of the leaf."
Yeah.
That's been my catchphrase from day one. Hola, brothers, sisters, leave.
Yeah, I love that. So
That's true. That would be correct.
Yeah.
Hola, brothers and sisters of the leaf. This is
Hola, brothers, sisters,
Kerr-
leave.
Kerr Viajante from Stogie Road Studios in
Jen, you know, I just noticed your beard is quite short.
I
Yeah.
trimmed it because he doesn't have.
No, that's true. That makes
long
sense.
beard.
I was gonna say, wow, go Amazon for making like,
Yeah.
close,
No, it was
close
down
to
to
the face
here.
beards.
You should see our bathroom
Oh,
because there's like whatever this is made out of just everywhere. It looks
I
like
can see.
welcome to our world.
I could see why you like are constantly touching your beard, though.
it is
Yeah.
very awkward and
It
restricted.
is. I'm itchy, and this isn't even on my
and
face.
yours isn't even like touching your mouth all the time.
no,
like mine
I
is.
smushed it.
Yeah.
I went in the bathroom
So-
and I put a little bit of like water to get it to try to stay
Oh,
to
that's
the
a good
side.
idea. I
Oh,
even
Yeah.
trimmed the mustache.
I should have.
Happy
This is
Halloween,
going up my
Facebook
nose.
user. So yeah.
Do we have
it's,
any viewers?
Huh?
Do we have any viewers?
Yeah, I
Yeah, we got-
don't know.
Let's see.
Kevin is the.
Says we have 9.
we got 7 viewers. I know
It
nobody
says 9. Where do you see
or
7?
9. It just jumped up.
Go figure.
Now it says
Well,
8.
So yeah, now it
Keep
says
going,
8.
too.
Yeah.
Give it some time.
So-
I also kind of look like I should be in Scarface.
I don't.
I should
I-
be jumping on a plane somewhere.
Yeah. You definitely look like a drug smuggler.
You look like one of
Hi,
those.
the cigar cabin. Happy Halloween.
What's going on, Dad?
Hey, guys.
You look like one of those, the star in one of those 80 movies where the girl dresses like a guy to get into like a college.
What?
Yeah, that's funny.
That's funny.
Des, the cigar
Rob
cabin.
Lowe dressed as a girl.
He's all that, or she's
Yeah,
all that,
get
or
into
something
it.
stupid.
Do they celebrate Halloween in England, or is that just an American thing? I don't know.
You're asking Des that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know. I was asking Jen
No, I
because
don't know. I'm like,
because-
who are you
yeah,
asking?
yeah because Des wouldn't know.
Jen, Kevin's asking you to celebrate Halloween in England.
Yeah.
Why don't you just
Across
do
the
it
pond.
here, across the pond, in the colonies.
I believe it's universal. It
Yeah.
just be a different name.
Well, then
So
people
like
do
Christmas.
like work because of the Day of the Dead. And
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a whole
That's-
different thing.
That's different. That's Mexico. too.
whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still.
Well, if you know everything,
Let
then why
me
don't you answer the
shout
question?
Now I need to look. I gotta at least see my.
We're
phone.
waiting for Des to give an answer.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes,
we
we
do.
do.
It's really big now. You're welcome, Des. You're welcome. We giving you guys we gave you Black Friday. Now you guys are doing that real bigger than us. Now we're
Are they
doing
really?
Halloween.
Don't celebrate
Is
Thanksgiving.
You don't celebrate
just-
4th of July
I-
either.
I'm assuming like I guess it would be what is like Harry Potter real big over there, Des? I guess that in the England
Well, that's
things
what-
is still
That's where it comes
Everybody-
from. Kevin.
Yeah.
yeah.
Why would they
Well, that's who
celebrate
the woman
Thanksgiving,
who
which
wrote
is
the book is from there, and
Yeah.
the actors and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably hate Harry Potter.
Yeah,
They're
probably.
probably like so over it.
Yeah.
well,
Actually, Halloween origins are pagan festivals in England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland.
Yeah. Actually Ireland has the first documented celebration of Halloween.
that's
Halloween.
the Wicker Man.
Yeah,
Everything was a pagan holiday at one point.
that's true.
And the reason why England doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving Day is that has a lot to do with the people who left England
True.
Yeah.
landing here in the States and celebrating, the camaraderie of
Yeah.
the initial people who were very nice to
Yeah.
the American Indians.
True.
Yes.
It's like asking why they don't celebrate the 4th of July.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. So Kerr, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm smoking a Sandela from Stogie Red Cigar.
Jason, what do you
First time in 8 years where someone asked me a question, she answered it was appropriate.
Yeah. Jason, what are you smoking?
I'm smoking the red tips from the Vintage Fresh from Stogie Bird.
Oh, right.
And I have a hole, that's what she said, that's big enough. I drilled a little bit bigger, or I could fit my cigar in.
Yeah. Okay. So Des says, "Thank you, America, for Halloween. You're welcome." Been much bigger here. Potter is massive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I would
can't
think you
even
guys would be
imagine.
sick of it. But
Yeah.
I love everything Harry Potter. But
So-
I would probably get sick of it if it was in my face every day.
I just saw Harry Potter for the number
the
one.
first one.
The first one. I finally saw it last week.
And I recorded a couple today.
Oh, okay.
And we have them
So-
all on DVD, but we don't have a
Yeah.
DVD player.
I've
Yeah.
only
It's in
seen the first.
in Wyatt's
three.
room.
I've
What's
seen
that?
the 3 or 4. I
Okay.
haven't seen all of them.
You got to see them all. Got to. They're all great.
Yeah.
All of them.
It was pretty good. I'll admit it was
They get
good.
better though, because like
Yeah.
I said, and you'll obviously they get older, and then the special effects in the movies get so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Well, that's good. Now we just got to get you to watch Star Wars.
Nope. I'm taking that one to the grave.
No, it's happening.
It is not.
he's never gonna watch it. So
Yeah.
Are you guys having a hard time hearing us?
no.
Jen was just a little light.
Does this sound better like this?
Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, you already have a deep voice, so I didn't really have a problem hearing you.
Why
all.
is someone commenting our sounds off?
I'm noticing.
There was an echo.
What's that?
You guys like stuttered like
Yeah.
it kept
Yeah.
repeating itself.
Is that?
Is that better?
Yeah, that seems to be better.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was picking up the microphone from the webcam and not this one, and that's the reason why
you
it
know-
sounded far away.
You,
And I noticed that there was just there's a slight connection issue.
I noticed there was a connection issue tonight with StreamYard, and then same thing. When I fired this up, it chose a different microphone
Yep.
than my default. So
Sorry.
it must
We
be.
don't. We look horrifying, Des. Really,
Yeah.
I thought I looked very authentic.
So did I. Joe
Is that
loves
why?
it. I sent him
is
a
that why
picture
it's? I bet you that's why it's horrifying.
because we're so realistic. Like we can pass as them.
I can't share the show anywhere.
I just copied and pasted.
Because you're in the I Tap That group. You
No.
got to go to my personal page.
Oh, you're making it difficult.
Yeah.
I
So
just
and
copied
then,
and
and then
pasted the link.
yeah. Since the group. So now you just got to type in my name.
Or cigar prop, you mean?
No, Kevin Shahan.
Oh. Wow.
Oh.
You're a freaking wacko, man.
Yeah,
I swear.
My name.
Your
No, that is a Kevin Shahan. That's
Do you want to spell
that's
it
a
for
K E V.
Look down at your shirt, Jess. Isn't it on your shirt?
Yeah, but I mean, apparently he needed
There you
to
go. Now-
tell
now-
me.
now you
I
can
did.
share.
I already shared it. Thank you, sir.
Where were you sharing it to?
To my main page.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. That's
Never
fine.
mind. I'm not really as important as you are,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
fine. It's good. God, you're even trying to micromanage how I am being Kevin.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Kevin is micromanaging the fake Kevin.
It's
I
the
wouldn't
Macho
expect
Man.
anything
The
else.
Macho Man's a control freak, if you recall.
Man,
Yes. Oh,
God.
you did not look at Miss Elizabeth ever.
No. Real life and wrestling, he's
Yeah.
very.
He was very protective of Miss Elizabeth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There was a couple times Mean Gene Okerlund had made some comments, and then Macho Man came back, and you didn't know if Macho Man was serious or not. Like he was about to beat Mean Gene's ass right there on camera.
I'm sure it was probably a back and forth thing.
Yeah,
It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they said I was watching a thing with Jake the Snake Roberts when they had the snake bite Macho Man.
Yeah.
And he was freaked out because they were telling him the snake was a cobra, didn't have the fangs and no poison, but then they were messing with him. they had the poison, and he demanded. He's like, "You got to make it bite you first."
Oh my God.
Like in the locker room.
God, that's
Oh my God.
I can't imagine.
That's
funny.
Absolutely insane.
like, did you ever watch Flash Gordon? And it's the scene where they have to put their hand in like the tree stump to see if you get bit or not by the poison.
No.
Flash Gordon, that was great.
The
funny.
original one.
The original.
Yeah, Kevin hasn't seen Star Wars. What do you make? He's going to see
Well-
the original Flash Gordon from the 80s.
Yeah.
They have a football scene in it.
It was because Kevin's a big Flash Gordon football fan.
Well, it's football.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cheesy. It's a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
movie, but it's super
I
cheesy.
love it.
And
Yeah.
Queen did the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
really? Yeah.
You never heard the bump 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 Flash?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I know what you're
Universe.
talking about now. Because didn't they have a cartoon as well? Flash Gordon, a cartoon, or
Well,
maybe?
Flash Gordon's been around for a real long time, but they came out with a movie in the,
Oh,
in the 80s.
Oh, Wyatt had a whole coloring book today of like the Flash and
And
he,
Flash, not the
Not-
Flash.
not
not the Flash
Yeah.
Gordon, and he
Flash
and he was
Gordon, yeah.
coloring it today.
Yeah, and like Queen did the whole soundtrack to the movie.
Yeah. Great soundtrack.
Yeah,
Love the movie.
horrible movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Deep,
horrible
but I
movie.
loved it.
Yes.
No, what movie was that? The guy who played Flash Gordon in recently.
Hey, I got a good idea. Let's keep talking about movies Kevin's never seen.
Yeah. well, before we do that here,
Wow, you really are Kevin.
yeah. She's
Blockers.
getting it
That
good.
was
She
awesome.
was in it.
Well, let's do our intro. I'm Broadleaf Bully Macho Man.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Kevin.
I'm Broadleaf Bully.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Kerr.
And we are
The
Broadleaf Bullies.
We talk. You listen. We are the Broadleaf Bullies. And here's your hosts, Kev, Kerr, Jessie, and Jen.
So Jason, you never did tell us what you're smoking tonight.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, dude.
Did you?
Yeah, the
Red tip.
red tips.
Oh, the red tips.
Red
Oh no.
tip.
Oh, so yes. And then I don't know what Jessica, what are you smoking?
Yeah, whatever. The shrunken pumpkin.
When you're not on camera,
I can-
you can say that word. You put a camera on Jessica, she cannot say the word.
Shrunken,
tatuaje.
shrunken.
Shrunken
Tatuaje.
pumpkin.
See, I said it as long as I wasn't looking at
What
the camera.
was it?
I can't say it now. Now
Yeah.
you put me on the spot. Tatuaje.
Yeah.
But every time I go to say it when the camera came on, I was like, oh my God, I can't say that word.
Yes.
It just like wouldn't come out.
Yes,
When that
the
happens.
Tatuaje
Shrunken pumpkin.
that we got last year for Halloween and we never smoked.
No, but like
So-
a couple years ago, we smoked a couple of It was like I forget what.
I think it was Viajante. Did
maybe the
some
Viajante.
pumpkins.
I don't know. No, it was the monster one.
Do we? I don't.
I
Yeah,
don't
I don't
know.
know.
I think that's when you got sick when we took the kids trick or treating, and you sat in the car.
Oh, okay, that sounds about right.
Viajante always comes out with a Halloween one every year. Too.
Yeah, I have a couple of them.
Viajante comes out with a whatever for every other.
I have ones that are a couple years old,
Thanksgiving, Christmas. I usually let them sit and smoke them the next year because
well, that's what I have usually, one in there.
Yeah,
from Viajante that I've had for 4 years now, so it's probably a good smoke now.
Yeah, Viajante's hit and miss with me. The hands down, they make the worst candela I've ever smoked in my life, and that was for the St. Patrick's Day. Like they have like a special series, and I think it's for the holidays, like you're talking about. But yeah, those hands down the worst candela I've ever smoked in my life.
Really, never had it. I got to try it. I've actually seen them up at Cardick's place. I've smoked Viajante. Just their regular line, pretty good. Pretty good. Any of their specialty cigars are hit or miss because they're usually out really young. They're released.
Yeah.
Love the concept, love the artwork, but I've had a couple that I think I smoked a Halloween cigar that I had bought I think I smoked it last year and I had purchased it like 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
it was pretty decent.
Do you guys get trick or treaters?
Yeah,
yeah,
He put some, they put some candy down by the road. Said, "Don't make any noise."
Yeah, didn't you see? You didn't see the picture?
I don't think I saw it. No,
I dumped out all the toys from one of our.
She wasn't paying attention. She's really
diving. We filled it with
diving
candy.
in this Kevin roll.
I know, and we took the purple lights that we used to decorate Killian's tent.
Oh, okay.
Tent. And we wrapped it around the chest in our mailbox post.
Now that makes more sense. I have heard
put a little sign up. I'm sure the whole thing's stolen by now. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that we might get some because we do have some little kids like that. But whatever. Yeah. I hope Wyatt doesn't open the door.
Yeah,
we'll invite them in.
Yeah. We'll go out there and there'll be like 8 kids and they've eaten all my candy.
What candy? He doesn't know where you keep your candy.
Yeah. I have to hide my own candy.
So
you don't hide it. You just have your own cabinet.
Yeah. So anybody watching tonight, this is the Broadleaf Bullies. So we do have a separate YouTube channel called the Broadleaf Bullies, and we're also on all the major podcasting platforms. It is everything is in the description below. You can find us on the Spotify and all the other ones. Kerr handles that part of it. I handle the video part of it. So we thought we would go live on all the various. I think we're live on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're live on 8 platforms tonight. Yeah. So anybody and all the other platforms that's not used to seeing the Broadleaf Bullies on the cigar prop.
Obviously Halloween.
It's Halloween, so make sure you subscribe to the Broadleaf Bullies on YouTube. We upload a video once per week.
And in a month, we're going to be live again.
Yeah, we'll be live again
down in Tampa.
Yeah, you guys are gonna be coming down here to Ybor City. Going to be doing the Ybor City Cigar Heritage Festival, and it's going to be awesome. And we just we sit around and we just talk like we just shoot the shit. That's all we do.
Fair.
We don't ever have a topic. Let's see, cigar cabin. Teddy calls sweets candy now. It's very amusing.
Oh.
Why is that amusing?
Because candy is sweets to them.
Oh, okay. Well, they say sweets.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, but what like a chocolate muffin can be sweets, but it's different from a Hershey Kiss. So
chocolate muffin's not candy.
Well, it's not sweet, but it'd be sweet.
What are you talking?
So they call everything. I'm just saying they call everything
sweet,
but they call everything sweets.
No, they did. He did not say that.
Oh, I'm assuming that.
Why are you assuming that? Where did that even pop into your head about muffins?
Yeah,
Kevin Default, you're the Macho Man.
Macho Man.
Because Macho Man always.
I know. Kerr is such a better Macho Man than I am. He would he's got all the comebacks. Like Kerr should have been Macho Man.
Yeah, you should have sent him.
I had your costume upstairs.
Macho Man, Jason Voorhees. That's me.
Yeah, cigar show, Tim. You were right. A show with no notes or agenda. How do you survive? I don't know how Kerr does it. Tim, I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I don't that
you could tell he's out of sorts.
It freaks me out.
I realized when I sent the message, I was like, "Fucking hey, man, Kevin
Yeah,
didn't
but
do
you know,
right."
I don't even
Just
know why you're
pretend
putting
you're
that
not
much
live, Kevin.
pressure.
Well,
It's not
well,
that kind of show.
I'm more comfortable like with Kerr. Like I can go live with Kerr anytime because I know, like I said, we just talk about, you just start talking and it's always smooth.
Yeah, but this is not the same type of show.
Yeah, I know.
We never have notes.
Yeah, I know. Tim's just saying
We tried
in
it
general.
once and it didn't work.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
I like by myself. Like Kerr has gone live by himself and filled up 90 minutes. Like Tim can do that as well. I could never do that. Like go live on a platform
You can
and
do
just
it.
sit there. I don't.
Kevin,
Ooh.
You underestimate yourself, Monty.
I know he can
You
do
know.
it, and he would. He just is like getting in his.
Yeah.
I gotta. You have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Getting nervous, like you're working yourself up.
Yep.
Kerr,
Intermission.
you better not put that on.
Put it on.
I don't
Put
like
it
that.
Fucking move.
I don't like that.
Did you see Koopy's picture of it?
Yes.
Yes.
Wasn't that great?
God.
Yeah. No, it's freaky.
It took about 4 biscuits for him to sit there.
Yeah. Tim is right. But I don't believe in myself. I don't. I really. I don't feel. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm good at this. So.
Kerr, that is so creepy. God.
Are these bar poles?
Yeah.
I think I got an idea.
I was talking with somebody earlier this afternoon, Kerr, and earlier this evening, late this afternoon, whatever time zone you're in, and talking about, and he'd asked about what a fake barber pole was, and then I told him about the video I did, and he was blown away. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I go, "Yeah, I did not know that some people made fake barber poles. Like they just take a regular cigar and they just wrap one leaf that makes it look like." And he was actually running to his humidor and find out if he had any fake barber poles.
Strips of barber poles.
Yeah.
Copy them.
Yeah.
I can't talk in this thing now.
No,
Yeah.
yes, take it off. Take it off.
All right, Tim, you have a good night. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, Tim.
We'll keep this here in effigy.
Okay. Oh,
So-
that's lovely.
You don't like it?
I hate clowns. I can't even begin to tell you.
I don't like clowns either.
No, the horror of clowns. So when I was younger, my mom's a sibling of
There's
12.
a story?
This is a story. Story
Okay.
time for a second.
Well, hold on. You can't see when my eyes are closed with that mask on.
Oh, you fine. I won't tell you my clown.
No, I want to hear your clown story, please.
So when I was a kid, my aunts, I have like a couple aunts that are only a few years older than me and my sister, because my mom's family was so big. So we were like, my mom got married and had us, and my grandmother had just finished having kids. So they used to let us watch like Freddy Krueger, like The Shining and all that stuff. And that used to be like terrifying. Well, I don't know.
I imagine Freddy Krueger was.
Oh, it was terrifying.
Never heard of
as a
Freddy
kid.
Krueger.
Oh my God. You're making it impossible to like you right now, Kerr.
Well, you said Freddy Krueger, and I'm trying to figure out
Well, I was talking
which movie Freddy Krueger was in.
Are you done?
Yes, tell us more about Freddy Krueger.
Oh, I'm so done. Guess what? You will never know my story ever.
Come on, Kev.
Oh my God!
Don't tell
Kev. I gotta get this wig off. These little
You
fake,
guys are pussies.
Macho Man stripping.
these fake hairs are. Oh my God!
Yeah, I know. They're on my face. They hurt and they itch.
Just Kev, finish your story.
No, I'm good.
Come on.
It's one of them stories that
You're not
it
being
doesn't need to be
sensitive
told.
tonight. Don't be sensitive. I want to hear the
Oh,
story.
I'm very sensitive.
I don't want to hear the sensitive. Don't take that passive dig at Kevin because you're in his outfit.
All right.
I want to hear about the story.
No, because you guys are buttholes. I don't want to tell it now. It makes it not fun. Because you took it too far. It was funny to poke for a minute, then you take it too far. I am Kevin.
It's season 3.
Yeah.
We've done probably close to 30 shows, and you're just realizing we're buttholes now. There's
No,
a
I've
fucking
always
problem.
and like most times, I can just like ignore you guys.
All right. Well, then just I'm gonna be Jason, and I'm gonna shut up and not say.
Oh,
anything.
you're gonna be Jason. Be quiet, because isn't he mute?
No, he can speak.
No, he talks.
just
Oh,
chooses
does
not
he?
to.
Yeah.
Does he? To be honest, I don't watch horror movies,
Yeah.
so I don't really
I know. I can't-
I hate
and when I
clowns as
did,
well.
Well, you were
There's
saying
so
I
about
like
your,
to hear your story.
you were saying about your aunt. Go ahead.
oh no, like so my aunts and stuff like used to like let us watch all those scary movies, like The Shining and
Mhm.
you know just everything that could be scary. So then somebody made a clown like 3D like crocheted picture of a clown and framed it, and it like was like you could touch it, but it like popped out. And my mom hung it in our room as kids. My sister and I
Oh my
shared a
God.
room, and and it was terrifying. So like I used to think
But it
that
was
this,
supposed to be a happy clown.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was freaking creepy as shit. And my sister and I both like have the same kind of memory of this clown. Like I swear, because it was like puffed out of the picture frame, like because you could like touch it. We think it came alive at night, like to get us. You know what I mean? So like I spent so long just being so afraid of clown. I mean, like that picture haunts me, and I hate clowns. I hate everything about clowns. I like hated going to the circus. Like I don't like clowns at
Neither do
all.
I think it was our generation because my grandmother, when I would stay over her house, she had this creepy clown that looked like it could have been a monkey, but it was still
Yeah,
a clown.
yeah.
It had like those really big ears.
Yeah.
And then she sat it in a kid's rocking chair that was like the double side. Mom actually has the
What's wrong
rocker.
with you, Jersey
And-
people?
I
Like,
know we're disturbed.
It just watched you as you
Monkey
moved around.
clown.
It was
Yeah.
horrible. Don't like clowns.
No, I don't like clowns at all. And like I just remember my mom dressed us up as clowns like when we were young too, and I would cry because I was just terrified of them. She like didn't care. Or like maybe she didn't realize how like scarring that was.
My dad used to. I mean, we've been watching horror movies since I don't know, as far as back as I can possibly remember.
Yeah.
And he would like sneak out of the house and then like bang on a window and stare the shit out of us. And we loved it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you're insane.
But, and then I instilled that to my own kids, and now my daughter Amber, absolutely horrifically terrified of scary movies. What movie does she always want to watch?
Is a
A
horror
scary movie.
Right,
She-
and I'll watch
Yeah.
them, but I don't seek them out. Like that doesn't give me the adrenaline I'm looking for. But I will tell you, when Thriller came out, like we, obviously watched it on TV and stuff. My aunt went and got like a werewolf costume, and she like came in through the window as the werewolf, and I will never forget that.
They made
Like-
a movie out of Thriller.
No, it was a video.
Oh,
Oh,
video.
okay.
The video was
I thought you were talking about
kinda
movie.
yeah.
Okay.
The video was long enough to be kind of like a mini
It was
movie.
like a
It was
mini
like one of
movie,
those
but
first really long
Yeah.
extended. It had a story to it.
yeah, it did,
Okay.
and it was awesome. Like the zombies, and then like all that stuff. But so like at the time, I think Teen Wolf or Teen Wolf or something was like
Yeah.
a popular thing too. So I don't know. Like, oh my god, that she came through the window, scared the shit out of us. I wouldn't go near the woods. Like I was afraid to even during the daylight for like weeks.
Michael Jackson.
I was
Yeah.
terrified of
yeah.
like anything scary because of that for long. I was young.
So fun
I was
fact.
only born in '78.
I've seen that
Kerr.
movie, Cigar Crazy, Killer Clowns from Outer
Yeah.
Space. I remember
Oh,
that
God.
movie.
So Thriller, the video and the song. I just for the first time like 5 years ago watched the video and heard the song in its entirety.
Shut up! Really?
I've never heard it.
Did you
How
watch
is
the
that
whole
possible?
video?
I watched whatever was on YouTube.
It's a great video.
Like the
Yeah.
video where Michael Jackson like starts turning to werewolf and does
Yeah. Yeah,
that.
yeah, and I'd never heard the whole song in my life.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, so yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
just a
Your
few years ago.
upbringing is just so.
He's weird.
back
It's
on
like
that
he
time.
lived in a friggin' like cupboard or
He's
something.
a bubble boy.
He
We-
is.
Bubble boy.
He is the bubble boy.
We were a war movie family.
My
you
dad
know?
watched MASH
Yeah,
every day.
yeah.
We
Well,
still
yeah,
watch
so did my
other
dad.
things.
That
Yeah.
and Barney Miller, and
Yeah.
all
I don't
the
know.
family.
I feel like you just lived a sad childhood and didn't know it.
Yeah, I
Kevin
just,
has no clue how sad
I-
his childhood was.
I was the bookworm in my
Yeah, I
far
read
off
books too.
mystical places, and that's what my
What?
childhood was.
Fun fact: I've never eaten a banana.
Who wrote that?
Des.
Des?
Yeah.
Seriously, is that serious?
Is he just anti-fruit or just anti-bananas?
Like Des, you
Or does
can't
he not want the potassium?
listen. You can't just make a statement like that and then not
Sure can.
back that shit up with something. I've never had a banana. What the
Tell him to
fuck
throw a
is
question
that?
on
I
and
love
invite him
that
to
he
the
said
show.
that. That
Yeah.
was
Banana.
awesome.
Never had a banana.
Yeah.
What other fruits has he
Yeah.
never had
And
that
th-
he's
and-
normally eaten?
and-
So
and
he's
thank
never
God
had a
for-
banana cream
Do they
pie.
not have
Yeah.
bananas in England?
Yeah, and thank God for Gwen Stefani. That's the only reason I know how to spell that goddamn word now. Bananas. Bananas. So I like Gwen Stefani. So
Well, but you see, horror movies are great. We grew up
Yes.
watching horror movies. You know, I actually watched everything, but I grew up on Saturdays,
Oh,
Saturday
love
morning
Saturdays.
cartoons, right?
Yep.
Saturday morning cartoons, and then in the afternoon was Creature Double Feature, or it was Dr. Shock out of Philadelphia.
yeah, Creature Double Feature.
Creature Double Feature, but Dr. Shock was out of Philly, and
I don't know Dr. Shock, but yeah.
yeah, he was kind of we got him out of Philly, and it was always great, you know, typical Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula,
Mhm.
Frankenstein, all those great freaking movies, and just grew up watching those movies. And then I'll never forget we The Exorcist. My mom let us watch The Exorcist,
great
which I do not
movie.
know why.
Yeah, my
Um,
mom let us watch it too.
I've never seen it.
And
Have you
Doesn't
seen
it
The
make-
Omen?
Doesn't it make you
No.
want to
And-
cry that Kevin has never seen
hey,
these
Kerr,
movies?
remember you have good manners.
Sorry, Kerr. Well, not really, because you gave
So,
me shit, so it's
but-
paybacks.
But you know, in The Exorcist, when her head turns around, right? So we're watching the movie, that happens, and then we're all sitting there, and my brother, God rest his soul, left the room and then turned all of his clothing around backwards, and then came in and dove on the floor, shaking around. And I don't think I slept for 2 days after
Wow.
that.
That's crazy.
You
Have
know,
you
I
seen
felt
The
that way
Omen,
about-
Kevin, or Rosemary's Baby. Like
No.
classic?
Carrie?
no. I
Sure.
know of all those movies, but I've never seen them.
Cujo.
Oh, Cujo, I love. I'm Stephen King, so I've seen everything. I
Okay.
think Stephen King is.
You
The
see the
Omen's
Amityville
probably-
Horror
The Omen's probably one of my favorites.
No, you know what? I've never seen the Amityville Horror.
with James Brolin, the original?
Oh,
I know,
the
you know, like, and that's one movie that I've always really wanted. But it's
The
like,
book's great.
yeah,
The book's freaking really a hell of a lot scarier than the movie. But the original movie is scary than hell.
But you mentioned like the creature from the Black Lagoon and all of those movies. It boggles my mind, like the Mummy and then the original Frankenstein. Like those movies scared people at one time, and you're like, you're like, what? I mean, I remember seeing them when I was a kid, and like the creature from the Black Lagoon, that wasn't scary when I was 5. Let alone, now.
Yeah, it was. Listen, it was just like Jaws, man. When you got in the water,
oh
man.
My God, it was,
No, because the creature from the Black Lagoon didn't rip people's heads off like they do now. I mean, there was,
I don't
But it was
know.
still scary. It was more of a love story when you think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
movie.
it was still scary.
Yeah.
I don't care what
We
you
went
think.
to one of these Monster Cons things,
yeah.
and I met the guy who freaking here's how old we met the guy who played the creature from the Black Lagoon in underwater.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He was like some Olympic swimmer.
Mhm.
And he was really old, obviously, because that movie was from the 40s or 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
Got him the autograph, the poster, and everything. He was talking about, freaking, trying to wear that, that outfit with a freaking, oxygen tank under it,
Yeah.
and everything else. And it was pretty impressive, but yeah, that stuff was always scary, man. The
Right.
Dracula. The Frankenstein.
I think I had a
The
very
Mummy always I never really understood why the Mummy was scary, because he was very frail, wrapped in freaking bandages, and walked really slow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just had like a super overactive imagination too as a kid, like very dramatic. So like that's the and like I was young
I
and
got
like
an older brother and sister, which made
right,
it worse.
and
Yeah.
I had my
Horrible.
aunts and cousins and stuff, and they were naughty. Like they
Yep.
purposely like wanted to torture us, and they knew what they were doing. And so it's like having older siblings, and they knew that shit was scarring. Like I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
issues from a lot of shit from that. I really do.
I know
I
now
do.
kids will want to freaking report you to the authorities if you freaking just jump out and scare them for a
Yeah.
little
I
bit.
know.
but
Oh,
that was
First
bad.
off,
God
cancel
almighty.
culture.
Des, what is
Yeah.
going on? You didn't answer any of the questions about the banana.
I still want to go back to the banana. I'm still
American
kinda
A
stuck
Werewolf
on
in
that.
London was awesome.
That was fantastic.
Kenny Baker did all the makeup. One of the really at that time Actually, the guy who did the makeup work for American Werewolf in London did all the art makeup work for Thriller, I believe.
Oh, neat. That Thriller, really, believe it or not, now I can appreciate it. A little bit. It's obviously not
iconic
scary.
now.
But it was really at the time, if you really think about it. I mean, the effects and stuff were
The zombies
pretty
coming
damn
out of the
good.
ground and shit.
That was
great.
really. It was actually really
until they
I
start
loved
dancing.
it. Oh, I thought the choreography was great.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, it was one of those things. Like now, like when you look back on certain things, like I could watch Freddy Krueger. I still might have some like bad dreams when I watch it. What is funny?
Because you said Freddy Krueger.
Oh, I meant Krueger.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know why I keep saying it.
That was Kerr's
Oh,
Krueger
well, why
noise.
didn't you say something?
I did
Damn it.
earlier when you threw a temper tantrum and cancel
didn't
culture
say
me
anything.
out of the story.
You just repeated what I said. That didn't mean I was going to catch on clearly. I said it twice. Or three
Yes.
times.
So is it the
And
banana
Kevin corrected
flavor or the banana, the fruit itself? Like there's banana
Yeah.
pudding. There's so like
Yeah.
There's
And we know
banana
the English love their
candies.
pudding. So
Oh, give me some
Yeah, he's just
pudding.
not going to answer the question.
No,
He's going to leave
it's
it.
really gonna bother me though.
The 80s
That's just
slasher movies are
bizarre.
great. Yeah, we growing up too, and when we were in high school, we always tried to scare each other. So we watched as many ridiculous, crazy horror movies as we could. I watched the original Evil Dead, which is scary. Evil Dead 2. Oh my God. Manitou. The Exorcist. All of the Freddy Kruegers and Cougars. All the Friday the 13th, the freaking Halloweens. I mean, you name any freaking ridiculous horror movies. But Jess, I'm with you. Clowns are creepy. They just are.
Mhm.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
are.
And
because of
when-
Dr. Spaulding or Captain Spaulding,
Captain
they don't-
Spaulding.
it made him even creepier.
Well, yeah, but what's funny is when we go antique shopping, we'll find like an old statue or a freaking bank or like a lamp of a clown. And I'm just like, who made that like 40, 50, 60 years ago? Like, hey, that's really going to hit on. That's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
look great in my
Yeah.
kids' room. No,
Yeah.
it caused nightmares because
Yeah.
it's inevitable. 9 out of 10 are freaking creepy.
Well, you want to know something too? There's a lot of history too with violence in clowns, like serial killers and stuff. Like
John Wayne
Yeah,
Gacy, he's
Yeah, John Wayne Gacy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, and then
There
on
was a
top
woman
of
recently that went and killed another woman. It's because she was dating the husband and she thought she can get away with it. It was like in West Virginia or somewhere.
What's that to do with the fucking clown?
She was dressed as a clown when she
Okay,
went
you
to the
left that part
house.
out.
yeah, you
Yeah,
just-
yeah. That was just a
part of it.
random thought, interjection
Yeah.
there. But yeah,
Why don't you get with freaking Des and you can talk about not eating bananas and people in West Virginia killing each other. We'll
So
talk
I
about
have I have issues with Raggedy Ann and Andy too. Okay, so like my grandmother thought like she would make those for us, me and my sister, to have as like dolls.
homemade shit never turns out
They're-
cool. does
they're-
it?
But
Never.
wherever I go, I have a folder I think on Facebook that I started. Wherever I go, I always see those creepy ass fucking Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Oh yeah,
dolls.
they're everywhere.
Yeah.
But there's vintage ones, like they're even creepier. And then like just the clown, like when I went to the circus, Ringling Brothers Circus in New York one time when I was a kid, they'd come up in the stands and stuff, and
I've never been to a circus.
oh my god, no! Like I
Never.
was probably like 4 or 5, and I was like, I was like gonna die. Like I just can't. I don't like them. They're creepy as fuck.
I too have never been to a circus.
You've
Yeah.
never been to a
And-
circus?
and-
Never.
and-
Don't want to.
Demented.
And here's what the interesting part of me never been into a circus. I grew up in Venice, Florida. That was the winter home
No,
of the Ringling Brothers.
Not Venice, Florida is not the winter home. It is in Sarasota, in
It's
the
the
city
home of
area.
the dolphin.
It's the dolphin that lost his tail.
It's not Venice. Venice is not the winter home.
Not when I was growing up as a kid, that's where the arena was at. They would pull the train into the Venice train station,
Mhm.
unload all the animals, and we would go down and see the animals because the winter home of the arena was on the island of Venice. So all the elephants and the camels, they would walk them from the train station over the bridge and then into
Have you been to the Ringling
I'd go to
Museum?
Cirque du
I
Soleil.
have not.
That's
But yeah, so no, Venice, Florida.
Okay.
Up
I'm
in-
just saying,
yeah.
next time they'll go to the Ringling Museum because it actually
Yeah.
tells you the whole history and
Yeah.
stuff. And never once have I read anything about Venice. So that's interesting
Okay.
because it does not mention that at all.
Okay. Well, it was.
Okay, well, I'm
So,
just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
They have a whole museum dedicated
She
to
just
it.
completely
Okay,
denied the
Okay,
whole
okay,
memory, Kevin.
So I'm just asking.
So
Never once
Jen,
said that.
Jen and Jessica here can tell me everything about New Jersey because that's where they grew up. But Venice, Florida,
I didn't question. I
the
just
shark's tooth capital of the world, is
I
also
lived-
the
What?
winter
You said
home.
no.
Okay, listen. Can I
the-
say something?
yeah.
I lived in Bradenton for 4 years. When I was going to college.
I
I
lived in
went
Venice
to
for
Ring.
25
Listen,
years.
I went to Ringling almost like at least once a week because I had an
No.
art class that required me to go there. Okay, and do sketches and stuff. And I
Okay.
used to go to the museum all the time, and never once did I ever read anything
Okay.
about Venice. So that was my point. So I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Okay.
But you always have to be right.
And now
so
you know,
I'm digging at
And
you
knowing is
for
half the
being
battle.
for being
G.I.
a dick
Joe.
all the time.
Go, Joe.
Go,
Because that's how
Joe.
you
yes.
are. You act like you're the only person on the world that knows every fact. So I was just saying, it doesn't say that at the museum. You would think
Okay.
it would.
Yeah, I know
We
you
gotta
must-
go
you
cigar
must-
crazy.
You must have
What's
missed that
that?
part of the
He was
museum.
asking what I'm going to do a show in Greer.
Anyway, he answered
no.
your banana question.
Why?
But I
what
just
was it?
don't.
What's the
I just don't feel. So sorry for the banana thing, but I eat fruit, just don't feel a banana as a fruit, and the texture and feel is. How do you know if the texture and feel is horrible if you've never eaten it? Did you just scrunch one in your hand once? You know,
Does he-
Dez. If this honestly, if mentioning the banana makes you feel like an idiot, then you'll never do well on the show.
yeah.
I mean,
Des, have you been listening to me at all ever?
Dez,
Yeah.
Dez just got abused for like freaking 20 minutes over Cougar.
Listen, I am feeling some type of way all of a sudden. I don't know why. I got to take this beard off. I think it's the beard.
You think that's what's
It's
making you
channeling
angry?
you?
That was
I
making
think
you angry?
I'm channeling something that I don't want to be.
Kevin's a nice guy, though. It should be channeling a little bit more of a niceness.
Wow, Kerr.
What? I'm not saying you're
Wow.
not nice. Listen, I'm not saying you're not nice. I'm saying Kevin's a nice guy, so it should be channeling niceness.
Oh, okay. Okay. He is a nice guy, but he's
I never
also a
once-
human.
if-
He's
listen,
also
if
a
I-
human, and you don't live with him. I do.
If I dressed like Jess, I would be a sweetheart.
No, you would not. You would be
Oh, oh,
sassy
oh,
and mean.
Okay. So I'm gonna give Jessica a little bit of props here. So let me the story in
Get it,
1927.
Google.
John Ringling brought the circus winter quarters to Sarasota, where it remained until 1959, no longer needing the acreage it had in Sarasota, but still needing a rail connection. The Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey service moved their winter headquarters to Venice in 1960.
Okay.
So you
Jess, when you
both
go,
are
when
right.
Jess, when you went to that museum, you got to keep reading.
It doesn't mention it, which is wrong of them because it's supposed to be very historical. No, I'm saying because Kevin, I mean, it's part of history. And I was actually just reading an article today about how the name Sarasota came about. And it was they're still trying to figure out the
Yeah.
origin. They still don't really know how it got named and stuff. And so it's interesting because, there's a lot of history that's kind
I
of
thought it was
lost.
Native American. I thought it was a Native
was,
American.
that-
Well, they're not 100%
yeah.
sure. They think that it was part of it was called something the meaning of it. So when it got interpreted, they added the Sarah.
Do you think
or-
Sarah just was
It
drinking a
was
soda?
Zota. It was Zota with a Z, not
Yeah,
even
so-
not even an S. And this whole article goes into it, how they're trying to find more history, more documentation and stuff. Because Sarasota, believe it or not, has a huge history that a lot of people don't realize, especially with pirates and stuff like that. And so
Arr.
in Tampa area and stuff. So it was just interesting. But I'm just saying, because the Ringling there's the art museum and then there's the circus museum. And it is detailed. When I tell you go there, it is one of the coolest things to see. I mean, everything that they have from the Ringling circus and stuff.
Except
But
for the clowns.
the
I
clowns
don't
are
know. I just don't like circuses, so
I don't
if I
know,
wanna
but,
go to that.
I do like
Yeah.
circuses. I just don't like the clowns.
I've never found much enjoyment at the circus.
I don't know.
I
used to-
never really understood it.
Yeah, I see what you mean there. Yeah, I've never felt a draw. I mean, I loved watching the animals walking and doing their things.
still,
yeah,
I mean, I've been to a couple circuses or circi,
yeah.
and I've just never understood it. I never got it. I never got the whole. I mean, I could see when there was no TV back in the day.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
when it was entertainment, I could see them traveling from town to town and being a big thing. But I
know what
never got into it.
When you think about it, it's like I grew up near Coney Island and stuff. So like the circus and then like the freak shows and all that stuff was really
like an oddity show.
Yeah, I like the oddities and stuff. And so some circuses had that kind of thing. And I used to take the kids, and Kevin and I took Graham. We went to the paranormal.
Yeah, it was like a paranormal Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil, and it was actually really
I've been
cool.
to like things like that.
Yeah, but like, so it kind of like, but I just don't like the clown part of like a traditional circus. Like I like the ones that kind of like changed it a little bit, like the circus.
Yeah, and
like
we went to
fun oddity stuff.
We went to which was one in Simpsonville we went to?
The Heritage Park.
It's at the Heritage Park. They have a big festival for a couple of days, and then they had an oddity show.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget we were sitting there.
Joe.
Joe, this was years ago. He was probably what, 12?
Oh yeah,
11?
He was young. He was still going through treatment and everything.
The guy was standing there and like took a nail up his nose.
Oh yeah.
And then he pulled out a drill, and when I looked over at Joe was like as white as a ghost.
He was like getting nauseous. I had to take him out.
He was.
See, now I love that kind of stuff.
Baseball's on. That's why we got a little bit of a slack audience tonight.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, Braves.
It's also Halloween. People might be trick or treating.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was also Halloween too.
Well, there's an oddities museum in Arkansas.
I like oddity museums.
I would like to go to it. We were watching like Ozzy road trip that he does with Jack, and it looks so freaking cool. And I can't remember where it is, but I want to say Arkansas.
That's when we had the Annabelle doll.
I don't remember, but we can do the Diamond Mine, and then we can do like the oddities.
Yeah, they went to the one where they actually had the doll from Annabelle.
Oh, okay.
Like because that whole thing's supposed to be on a real skull.
Yeah.
Raggedy Ann and Andy.
They had the Raggedy Ann and Andy.
See where that
the
is.
Chucky doll. That's
God.
Yeah, I thought the Annabelle doll was like in St. Augustine, but maybe I could be. I mean, I read the story on it. I don't remember.
They stopped at one of those oddity places, and they had all these different things, and I remember that being one of them. And they had also another. The only thing I don't really get scared or creeped out by too much. I don't believe in ghosts and whatever else, but the stuff that freaks me out is like the real people.
I say that too. That's why I tell Kevin all the time. I'm like, the reality of what real people, physical people could do is freaking terrifying.
Jason doesn't freak me out, but or scare me, or even ghosts or paranormal activity. But if you ever watch the movie Frailty, that freaks me out because there is a component of like supernatural to it, but if you remove the component of supernatural, it's just a crazy motherfucker going around killing people because he believes God's telling him to kill people.
Yeah. When I was young, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that freaks me out more than anything else. But for some reason,
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
The one thing that really does I don't like. I don't like dolls. Like my mom had all these dolls.
Oh my gosh, we got a bunch.
And I really don't like ventriloquist dolls. They freak me out too.
Yeah. Well, that's funny you say that because my dad's grandmother, so my great grandmother, she lived in an old Victorian house, and they collected antiques. Like everything in there was antique. And my grandfather's sister, Aunt Myra, I mean, she literally like dressed like she was still like kind of in a Victorian age, and her hair, her makeup, everything. She was very strict. Like children were meant to be seen, not heard. But everything in their house was like this creepy,
as it should be.
Yeah, creepy, like creepy dolls, like these old antique dolls, and like oh my god.
I just don't like the porcelain dolls.
Yeah, well that's
okay.
These
yeah.
So
like
somehow me as like I was so much of like a tomboy. Like my sister should have gotten these like porcelain dolls. No, somehow they give me dolls like for presents and stuff. And like I had all these disgusting, ugly little porcelain, creepy dolls that I never took out of a box. I would like shove them under my bed, and then I thought I was going to die from these dolls in the middle of the night. Like, and then so when I got older, my mom like must have kept them or whatever, and she had them in her freaking like stowaway attic like crawl space when they moved here to Florida, and they were going through it one day, and she had like 20 of them. She's like, do you want these? I was like, no. Why do you still have them? I'm like, burn them, like throw them away, like they're creepy.
Yeah, I got all the ones from my mom passed away. They were giving out stuff. I got all these dolls, and they're all in the box and stored because
screw that.
You know, it's like my mom would keep them all in a room. You walked in,
it was a doll.
You always kind of felt like someone was looking at you,
watching you.
It's like, hey, do you want to stay over in a spare room? Like, no, there's fucking like 30 dolls in there looking at me.
Yeah, because you can only be in a room for like 15 minutes at max before you start talking to the dolls.
Yeah,
like you just naturally start talking.
Now, my grandma had a bear, a room dedicated to bears. She used to collect vintage
my grandmother
bears
did too.
Oh my god, like the whole. I mean, the amount of bears that she had. I mean, they were all worth so much money. She
had all like the siphon.
Yeah, she collected these old bears, and then when
barely possible
before she passed away, she was like giving, asking what we wanted and stuff. She was like, "Do you want any bears?" I was like, "Absolutely not," because they were creepy too. Like I remember going into that room as a kid and being like, This isn't. Oh, there's toys. Like it was creepy.
Yeah. Do you have any non-bear jewelry, Grandma?
Yeah, like,
that's what I would like.
Yeah. No, it was just.
Yeah.
It was also obnoxious. Like there was so many. Like you have a room dedicated to these freaking bears. And dolls.
Well, and what's she doing? Putting everybody's name on the bottom. All right. So you wanted this one. So and then when I die,
no, she did. She went through and like jewelry, all that stuff. She wanted everyone to have what they wanted before she passed. It gave her joy to like gift it. It was weird.
Nobody took the bears. And
nobody wanted the bears. So when she passed away, my mom and it's my dad's mother that had the bear stuff, but my mom and like a couple other people like all like figured out online how to like sell some of them, and then it was weird. I got her car. That's what I wanted. She was like, "What do you want?" I said, "I'll take your car when you pass away."
Yeah, everybody else is taking the small stuff, and then Jessica like, "Can I have the car?" And she's like, "Yeah." And everybody's like, "What? What?
Yeah.
That was in the mix.
That was in the mix. I just thought we were picking out bears.
Yeah. Like, everybody's like, I didn't think about asking for the car.
She drove a freaking
bear paw coaster. Did she get the car?
Yeah.
She drove a Lincoln, man.
Yeah.
I wanted that car.
Yeah. Jess was the only smart one. I'd like the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't really want anything, so I figured I'm like, she's not going to give me the car. Like right now, she's obviously still alive. So when she passed away, I got the car.
When my mom died, we went to her house, and of course, my niece Samantha, she was the first grandchild born, and she was the daughter of the only daughter, my sister. So like, she got everything. Right?
Yes.
So she gets like Hitler's China. Like they literally had China that they got that was it was like Nazi era China from Germany with the freaking swastikas and shit.
You know how much one plate is called?
She got a whole set of it.
Yeah, she has a set of them.
And I'm like,
do you know how much one's worth?
I'm like, you got Hitler's China, and I got a freaking doll collection of two kids playing baseball, sitting on a bench.
I would not want that shit in my house. I would feel like that has bad mojo.
The baseball dolls?
No, the Hitler stuff. We've gotten some donated.
I don't know if they're Hitler. I don't know if it's Hitler's China, but all the shit that was made in Germany that time.
That's what I'm saying. The
swastika, it was all Nazi freaking.
Yeah, anything. I don't know. That's just because it's so rooted in my dad's side of the family. I mean, they escaped Germany, so because my grandfather's family was German Jews. I just think think of it that would be horrible to have as a
think
heirloom.
of it as the Buddhist swastika. Then.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things that when you see it, you identify right away with.
Yeah,
evil.
Yeah. I sent her a picture.
Evil.
I was like photoshopping like a picture of her sitting there having coffee with Hitler, and then I'm like walking out with like a Monopoly board game.
Yeah,
so it's like little off here on the givens. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh my God, cigar crazy. That's terrible.
What do you write? I can't see.
That's awful. That does not seem right.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
Hmm.
You know, but that's like how it goes in family. Like that's why, like with my parents, like it's funny. I'm the middle child, but I'm the only one who is the like executor of my parents' will because I'm the only one who does not give a crap about any of their stuff. My sister and my brother would probably fight each other to the death, like Mortal Kombat style, for dumb shit. And for me, it's as easy as saying, so I tell them all the time, spend your money, leave nothing. I don't want anything. We don't need anything. Live your life to the fullest. That would mean more to me than you leaving me money or some junk trinkets that I do not want. So they're in the middle of selling their house right now. And my mom's trying to give away stuff. And I'm like, no, just donate it. Like nobody wants this shit. So of course my sister doesn't even live here. She's like, oh, well, will you look for this? No, if you want something, you fly your ass here and pick it up yourself. I am not in this. I am not getting involved. So when they do pass away, my brother and sister have no say. I have all the say. And what I'm going to do is divvy up. I'm just whatever is money just gets divvied up. Any property or anything will get sold and divvied up, and we will. Yeah, same.
My stepsister.
Don't want anything.
My stepsister and I are the executors of my parents' estate, and she'd once asked me, he's like, "Well, do you think there'll be any fighting?" I go, "No, because I'll just walk away."
Yeah, because who cares? It's not worth it.
It's not. There's only two things in my dad's that I want. Those are gifts I've given him 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
but at the end of the day, it's just items. You can't take it with you anyway. What does it really matter? It's like I don't want their items. I just want them to live a healthy life and enjoy the rest of their lives.
Yeah, not be a burden on me at the end. That's really all I want.
That's a good.
So, but it's funny how it does bring out the worst in people, and they don't like start off going like, when I get older, I'm going to be this person. When my something happens in my family.
No, it's just everybody wants shit. We went through it when my grandmother died stuff, and I remember thinking, I always end up, and I honestly, I really just to goof around with my niece. I give her a hard time. I really didn't care. I wanted sentimental things, like my mom. What I really wanted for my mom stuff, and what I did take was my mom did ceramics. When I was growing up, she would get the green ceramics. She'd sand them down, and then she'd get them fired and she'd paint. She's very talented. And there's a lot of the Christmas ornaments and Thanksgiving ornaments that her and I did together when I was a kid. So I took all those, and that's all I wanted. I don't care if someone has Hitler's China set.
I get what you're saying.
When my grandmother died, and it was a ridiculous free for all. I was like, I just want the Parcheesi game because my grandmother, when I used to spend time with her, we always played Parcheesi. She never let me win. She was brutal, but that was the only thing I wanted. And I just want I look for sentimental things.
No, and I agree with you on that.
Versus anything when people are looking for monetary and money and bullshit
that's just it.
I think that's why people don't. No one. I don't think anybody would ever make me.
Here's the only.
See that.
All I wanted was so I really didn't know my grandparents too much. I remember going up. That's my dad's parents. But that was that's like my as an adult now. And my grandmother just died, I don't know, maybe like 6-7 years ago. I wish I would have known her more as an adult for the recipes. I just remember being a child and we'd go up there on, for family reunions every other summer or whatnot. And just the amazing food.
Yeah.
Like she made her home, which is still, I've never found as good a horseradish. That she used to grow her own, make it, send it down to
now
me.
That's the one
I would have loved to learn how to make my own horseradish.
That's the fortunate side for my family is that I grew up next to my family. I always say it's like we were like a compound. I mean, my whole family lived like next to each other, and my grandparents'
family was like that.
Yeah, and we literally lived next door to my grandparents, and I learned how to can food, like all kinds of stuff. And
why didn't your mom learn how to cook?
I don't know. And like she has my grandma's recipe book. She was an amazing
maybe
baker.
She should break that mother out sometime. oh, it says, this. Oh, it's only a teaspoon of salt. I thought it was
Yeah.
way. I
She's
thought
not-
I thought it was a cup.
She is not a good cook at all. I mean, growing up, we went to my grandma's house for food because she was the good cook. Some people aren't good cooks. I don't know. But like that was like me too. Like when my grandfather died, I wanted like two things, like a little music thing that he had and a hat, and that was it. I
have my grandfather's helmet when he worked in the mines.
How cool is that?
I have my grandfather's detective badge.
Yeah.
Oh,
back in like the 30s. Yeah.
Oh, how about it? How badass
He
is
used
that?
to photograph. He photographed the homicide. So my dad actually has still a photo album of the homicide pictures. Like there's one picture where some sort of brick wall fell on a person. He has a picture of it.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's why I don't think. That's why I don't think I've ever been asked to be a executor of a will.
What's funny though is
like
that
you, Kevin, I won't put up with shit. It's just like, listen, it's real simple, man. It's objective. I understand the sentimental stuff, but I don't play games, and I will call people out when they're being freaking money grubbers.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I will not beat around the bush. I won't
Yeah.
try and sweet talk him. It's like, listen, you're being unreasonable.
Well,
you just want this money to sit down.
but here's the thing, though. I mean, I'm pretty sure like it might be a nice chunk for like one or two people, right? But my mom had, like freaking 9 siblings at this time when my grandmother died because a couple of my uncles passed away. So
Right.
like there's all these kids, and so like this large sum of money is really like $1,000 each. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at the end of it all, and you guys are being crazy.
Yeah,
like
pe-
you're
People
like,
there.
the
People-
love is gone.
Yeah,
like,
people will fight
instantly
over
gone.
$1,000 will ruin.
Yeah, it was like so
ruin,
sad to
families,
like
yeah.
listen, like because my uncle Brian had passed away, and so when it came up to the topic of like, well, should Brian's portion go to his daughters? Every single one except for 2 of the siblings, my mom being one of them, said yes, it should go to them. Everyone else said no, they don't deserve that. Brian passed away, he's gone, so that should get divvied up between all of us. Like you can't even help your own nieces out. Like
It's
it
just called
just
being
seems
fair and objective, and that's where when people
it just
die,
was so fucked up.
being fair and objective goes out the window because everyone has their subjective emotional attachment, feelings, and sob story.
Yeah.
But what's fair is fair. I mean, and it's just
Yeah.
a lot of folks don't want to do that.
No, and for me, it's like my family's not wealthy by any means, so it's like, ooh, fighting over that $500 I might get. Like, no.
Well, just take it and donate it at that point in time. And
Yeah, it's just.
I'm like,
it's
listen,
just
I'm gonna cure everybody's anxiety right now. I'm just gonna no one's getting anything. It's gonna be donated.
Yeah, that's why a couple of years ago, my parents sold they had a huge house. They sold it. They got rid of everything. They bought a much smaller.
They offered us some stuff, and we took a few things like, because we knew they were downsizing, but like we were like, no, like we don't really want anything. We just, was like, God, you kind of felt a little obligated because they really wanted us to take stuff. But we were just like, no, we don't have room for any of this shit. We didn't want anything.
Yeah.
They were trying to give us couches. I'm like, what? Like, we don't want
My dad
your
will send me
couches.
stuff from time to time. But when I was at my dad's house recently, I was at his basement looking through some stuff, and we were looking, all through all my dad's stuff, and it was a walk down memory lane for me.
Yeah.
That's why I love looking at this shit. And I found my was it a sugar and creamer?
Yeah.
The yellow thing?
Yeah.
I found a sugar and creamer that was my grandmother's in there. And it's like a very throwback 60s yellow with the funky ass design.
With the
and I was like,
seafoam green on it.
All right, this
I'm
is
taking
coming
this.
off.
I'm taking this, Paul, just because it had a lot of sentimental value to it. But
Yeah.
there's so much. What pissed me off is over the years,
Came off.
there's so many great ceramics that my mom made. I wish I had now.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore, Jen. I'm sorry.
You can go
stick
ahead.
it with it
You
to
can
the end now because my face is so itchy right now. I'm afraid if I take it off, I'm just gonna be clawing at my face.
Nice.
So
But there's so many. My mom made this lamp, and it was a mushroom lamp, and it was like this high, and she basically sanded it down, and then she painted it background, and then there was these paints you could put on there with crystals in it, and then when they fire them, they melt and do all this funky psychedelic freaking things. It was the coolest lamp in the world, and I have no idea what happened, but I'd love to have that mushroom lamp.
Yeah, that was the only thing when I went up after my grandfather had passed, and everybody was up there, not for the funeral. This was probably 6 months later, and going through like the basement and then the old coal room, which they had. I probably was the first person in the coal room in 20 years. It was just a door. Nobody
ever like went in there.
No, nobody, because it was just the coal room.
Right.
And I had found the I don't know if I brought it up before or not, but found the original mailbox of the house, the little how cool the house, and then it had 50 years of paint. I don't know how many coats of paint on it. Like it was just, and then I asked because my uncle Matt had gotten the house. I'm like, hey, can I have this? And he's like, yeah, I don't care. Then I stripped it, sandblasted it, powder coated it, cleaned everything up, and then gave it to my dad. And it was just beautiful when I fully restored it, and it was just
that's awesome.
And it was cool. But yeah, it was the rape room. Amber and I called it.
Oh my god, it's creepy.
Oh my gosh,
that is so creepy.
Amber and I called it the rape room. But yeah, when I went up there, like we were staying at the house because like when you go up there, like my family, like it's an insult to stay at a hotel. Like, oh, our house isn't good enough for you. No, there's like we got like 30 people over. Like, oh no, I see how it's gonna be. So you stay. So they had set me up a bed in the basement, not in the rape room, but like, and it wasn't even a bed.
Gosh.
It was a military cot, like in the basement. And they're like, all right, there's your. And I'm like, no, who thinks this is right? No, this is horrible. It's dusty. It's dirty. It was not a finished basement.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and it was disgusting. I'm like,
even finished basements had that mildewy.
I'm not staying here. I'm like, I slept on the couch. But yeah,
that's great.
Kevin doesn't camp. He doesn't sleep in unfinished basements.
Well, not sleep in a basement.
Kevin likes luxury.
And Jen's with me. I'm a hotel person. I don't like staying. I don't like staying at people's
you're
houses.
Also a picky hotel person.
Yeah, I don't like staying.
I am too.
Oh Jesus!
I do not like staying in people's houses.
Let's hope that our little what is it? Airbnb like condo thing?
No, it is a hotel that we're staying at in Tampa.
Yeah.
I'm just going on the fact that the pictures look nice. It is older, but the fact, we'll be together. It will work. We're not going to be there.
Yeah, I don't really care where I sleep. I'll sleep anywhere. So if I'm tired, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, so it will be okay.
Just I'll be sleeping on a balcony going, man, those are a bunch of
But
dicks.
I actually have to tell you a great reason, again, why I won't camp. And I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning, not because Killian was up. He went to sleep at about 10:15 last night and slept till 7 o'clock this morning. Around 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was sleeping on the couch with him. He was at one end, I was at the other. I felt something on my arm. So it's dark. Obviously, it's in our living room. So I just kind of grabbed it, and I can feel something is in my hand. So my urge was to scream, but I didn't want to wake up Killian.
It was me.
So I quickly ran to the bathroom and threw it down into the toilet, and it was a good 2-inch size earwig was climbing on my arm.
What is that? What?
An earwig, those long black bugs with the little pinchers that look like hooks.
Oh.
We used to,
and I could not go back to sleep. I was so skeeved out that this bug was crawling on my arm.
Back home, they used to call them nuke bugs because they only started finding them after the freaking the nuclear accident after 3 Mile Island.
Yeah,
they used to call them nuke bugs.
They're horrible, and they don't die easily. They have such a hard shell on them. Little mother effer. Oh my god, it was horrible. So I've been up since 4.
Look, I'm itchy for you.
Being here in Florida, we have the giant palmetto bugs, and every now and then one of the motherfuckers will make it in the house.
Oh, we had one in the house a couple weeks ago.
They're called a roach.
I jumped. It was just moseying across our kitchen floor because our back door is right there.
It's a roach.
Yeah.
When I think of roaches, I think of like those German cockroaches, which are really bad. Like nobody wants those, right? Like they're the invaders. But like in more warmer climates, you get the bigger ones. Those things, they're huge. Some of them fly. Yeah. Like
for some reason, once you hit the Carolinas, roaches are nicely named palmetto bugs.
They're the nicer version.
Jessica and I have both woken up in the middle of the night with one crawling across our face.
Oh my
or our
god!
chest.
Yeah, one
Oh.
Kevin.
I
one-
would not be in that house.
I told
I would
Kevin.
tell Kerr we have to move. There's no
Yeah.
freaking way.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not often, but like
Not often.
not often.
How
It's
many
not-
times makes
Well,
it not
I mean-
often?
I've been here 10 years and maybe twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
that's
know.
So, but
too
you
many.
remember
Oh my
every
God.
time it happens.
But honestly, like working at Goodwill, I see roaches. I see
Oh my
dead,
god, I'm so
dead
itchy.
rats,
Oh my God.
live rat. Like I've literally seen rats that are alive, like little baby ones, and gaylords of shit and stuff, and like snakes in bags and stuff. So, I mean, normally like stuff doesn't bother me, but when I'm sleeping and something is crawling on me, that is it. Like I am dead. Like I just like want to die.
And knowing how I jump at everything, I really just had to keep myself calm just because of Killian. Everyone's asleep in the house. Cooper was lying on the floor, like along the couch. So I quickly kind of hopped over him, and I can feel
He
it in
did
my
jump at
freaking-
everything. I can't
I
believe
can
he didn't.
freaking feel it in my hand. And when I threw it down into the toilet, I'm like, you motherfucker. I said,
Did you see
it's
this
4
comment?
a.m. So I watched an episode of The Sopranos, and then I watched a marathon of Friends.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cleaned it up
Kerr,
with
did you
nothing.
ever do this?
Sleeping under a table using my leather jacket as a pillow in the party days. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I've slept in some odd spots, man.
Yeah.
Naked in a bush.
I slept naked in a bush.
Yeah, we heard that story. Yeah.
I slept I fell asleep in a flower bed in front of a hotel.
Yeah.
When we went down to we were at spring break, we actually went to Orlando and hung out with a buddy of ours from college, and then on the way back up, we stopped in Daytona, and we had nowhere to stay. It was like 5 of us, and we start running into people we knew from college, and I ran into a girl from high school. I was like, holy shit, what are you doing? I hadn't seen her in years. And they're like, we're staying here. I'm like, perfect. So at the end of the night, we went knocking, and they already had like a whole bunch of people in the beds. And I slept like under the pull-out bed. I slept under the pull-out bed. I had to put my body physically under the pull-out bed where just my head was showing because they had the air conditioning that high. It was that cold in there that I had to go under there for some sort of warmth.
Oh my god.
That was so just recently I went down to smoke in Boynton Beach, and Shirtless Mike was down there, and then he was going to stay the weekend. He decided to drive home, and I said, listen, man, I said, I got a room, I got a queen size bed, it's got a pull out sofa, you're more than welcome to stay with me. It's no big deal, I've already paid for the room. And so he's like, I'll let you know at the end of the night. So the end of the night's coming, I gave him the card to the hotel. I'm like, hey man, if you want to come, doors open. So he came in and spent the night, and then I pulled out the pull-out sofa before I went to sleep, and it was literally right by the wall air conditioner, like it was blowing onto that. So I wake up in the morning. He's in the bed. He sees me waking up, and he pulls the blanket down. He goes, "Can you turn the AC down, please?"
I would have been like, no.
I don't know why he just didn't get up and turn. I'm sorry. If I was free, I would have been like, I don't give a shit.
He
I'm
was
turning this
frozen.
shit.
So I gave him a pillow, and then it only had like a thin blanket, just like the sheet. He's like, that's the only thing he said. Can you please turn the AC
Oh my god,
down?
poor Mike.
That's funny.
That's the worst, man. Because like,
it is.
and when you have nowhere else to stay, you're like, fuck. It's either you go outside where it's really hot and humid.
Oh yeah,
or stay in here where it's freezing cold.
Carrie, you're fancy. You used to travel far to go to spring break. I used to just go to the Jersey Shore.
That was the only time we ever went.
Prom and spring break was always going to the
Yeah.
Jersey Shore
Oh, yeah,
or
definitely.
Atlantic City.
That was the
Seaside
only
Heights
time.
was
Yeah,
after
Seaside.
prom or spring break.
Yeah,
Well, we used to
Seaside.
go to we went to Wildwood when it was for senior week. We
That was
Yeah.
too far.
huh?
What's
That
that?
was too far for us.
Wildwood, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Is it like a
Wild,
beach or?
Wildwood is the fancy.
Yeah,
beach.
it was way
It's
too far.
It's for
to go.
people who have money.
Oh,
Yeah.
la-di-da.
Dirty.
Where we stayed would not really reflect the
I
people
know.
who had money.
I'm just saying, Wildwood and stuff is definitely.
It's like people who go, you go to Ocean City, Maryland. Oh, that's
Oh,
so.
Ocean
They're like,
City is so nice.
Ocean
compared-
City is so nice. I'm like, yeah, go down to
Yeah.
freaking First Avenue through 10th.
Yeah. I
It
know my
is
sister
not.
and I used to go occasionally to
crack
Ocean
houses
City,
down
and
there.
like it was pretty sketchy at best. I mean,
From
See-
I think it was First Street or First or
Yeah.
Second Avenue. I can't remember. It is all the way 1 through 10. It was
Yeah.
like crack houses, horrible,
yeah, I
shitty,
believe it.
crime-ridden, drug, terrible. It was.
I know.
not-
I always think about like I can't believe my parents like used to just take us to Atlantic City and like give us money and like let us walk that boardwalk and stuff. I mean, it is like it's probably better now. I don't think it's as bad, but me growing up back then, like it was bad.
It was
That
pretty
whole
bad.
area
You
was
didn't
just
go there just to walk the
bad.
boardwalk. You went there to gamble, and that was it.
Yeah, but like my parents would spend the whole day and they would just leave us to our own devices. And like that's how I got like I was like 8 years old getting cigarettes out of the fucking machine. You pull the little lever and there went some marbles.
But we used to gamble.
boardwalk.
We used to gamble at the at the. I always wanted to do a skit on. I know it's probably still in a I get canceled for this right now, but I always wanted to do a skit on the Catholic Church on how to recruit more people into Catholicism.
Yeah.
And the big selling point would be their summer bazaars, because they always have a beer garden.
Oh, yeah,
always a
very
beer
hard.
garden. And it was always separated with like a rope. So when we were like growing up, you could always like go under the rope and sneak some beers. And then they always had different games, and there was always the roulette wheel.
Yeah.
And I sat there. I remember sitting there, freaking 12 years old, putting $1 on the roulette. Hey, you won, Carrie. Here's $10 when you're a kid.
I know.
It's you got schoolgirl outfits. That's a big selling point as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to dodge a few priests here and there. We get that.
Oh my
but
gosh.
at the end of the day, you had beer gardens, and then even like they did the Christmas bazaar.
Yeah.
Same thing. There was always a beer garden, and it was like $5 for all you could drink. And when you were a kid, your parents would either, hey, have a sip, but you could always like reach in and see someone for your, like my brother's older friends.
Yep.
My brother would be like, hey, they'd sneak you a beer. It
Yep.
was always so much fun.
Yeah, and everybody's smoking cigarettes and stuff.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
nobody gave a crap. But
Yeah.
Cigar Eyes, Asbury Park is
Cigar
like
crazy.
oh, Cigar Crazy. I say
Yeah.
Cigar Eyes, sorry, Cigar Crazy. I don't know why I said
She is not watching this show.
Can you guys be watching?
Kevin.
I know everyone who has like cigar in front of them. It's
Oh my
like
gosh.
every single like person on Instagram has cigar something. Cigar prop, cigar eyes, cigar crazy, cigar. Everything is cigar. Cigar
What
Reina.
about-
Like
what
I
about
cannot
Cigar
believe how
Jess?
many cigar people. I'm not ever being Cigar Jess. That is not happening. But anyway, Asbury Park used to be a shithole, and apparently that got cleaned up now too.
Yeah,
Like I liked Asbury Park even
it's
when I was
really
younger.
nice now.
but
They
there's
clean it up.
they got a lot of like breweries and like like microbreweries there and stuff. And
It's
they've
a
really
destination place now.
yeah. Now lots of people
Wow,
are
that's where
going
Bam
there.
Bam Bigelow is from.
They cleaned
Oh,
it
really?
up.
Yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh, really?
He's from Asbury Park.
God.
And but that's what I always think of when someone says Asbury Park. I'm like, that's where fucking Bam Bam Bigelow is from.
Yeah, there for a little while. It was definitely not a great area. I mean, I'm from Edison, so I can't really talk. So,
I'm from the Shark's Tooth capital of the world, Venice.
ooh, Shark's Tooth capital. You had to
And-
add
you're
that.
from Ohio,
And the winter headquarters of
Kevin
Ringling.
was like 2 when he lived there.
But he
yeah,
was born in Ohio, so that's still where he's from.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's where he was born.
yeah. Lancashire, Ohio.
Where you were,
home of William Tecumseh Sherman. Sherman's March to the Sea.
Yep, I remember that story.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jen, what part of Jersey are you from?
Clifton.
Clifton.
So
That's right.
about 20 minutes outside of Midtown Manhattan, or
Yeah.
like 10 minutes from the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
I'm from the
God.
home of Lebanon Bologna.
I love the Meadowlands, man. I've gone to so many concerts for like $5.
I'd go to
at the
concerts, and I
Meadowlands.
liked going to the horse track. It was harness racing.
My buddy had
So
a
they were
wedding
trotters.
reception
What did he say?
at the
Go back to the comment.
my buddy had his wedding reception at one of the
That's probably
At the
why.
racetrack?
it is why at a harness race place.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah, we used to
born-
go.
he was
The
born in
Hambletonian
Ireland.
was a huge
Born and
race that we
raised.
would go to
Born and
every
bred.
year.
Born and bred in Northern Ireland, Belfast. Oh,
You want to
right.
know a fun fact? I have more Irish in me than Kevin does.
Yeah,
And I didn't even know I had any Irish in me at
I
all.
thought Kevin was 100% Irish.
No.
yeah, I mean,
No.
I
By his, but he is his family. Like it's documented. Like
yeah,
they-
like
he
we
can trace his stuff back. My family,
we've been here for like
never
250
even
years.
knew.
It's we're a little watered down.
Yeah. So I like did the 23andMe and like was blown away because like my mom was like, where did that come from? I'm like, I don't know. So I had gotten it from my parents, and it actually comes from my mom's side. And she's like, how?
Actually, we've been here.
How does that come from her side? Nobody ever had ever said anything about being.
We've been here
Irish.
342 years.
300. Your first
years.
ancestor came over 340 something years.
342 years ago. We
42
were
years
here.
ago. It's crazy.
1679.
That's crazy.
Do you have your coat of arms, Kev?
No, because we don't know where. Because when Cornelius Shahan left Ireland and arrived in Jamaica in 1678, and then Boston in 1679, he didn't leave any info. We actually have his original will, thanks to the Catholic Church.
Oh wow!
But no mention of
No
where-
you don't know what Shahan clan it came from?
yeah, like where he came from, why we don't know why he decided to leave Ireland in 1670. Well,
What was going on then?
Shahan?
No. I mean, that was well before the potato famine. So he just up and
Maybe he
left-
was just adventurous.
maybe he was and showed up here in the States, and
You know, it
we've
just
been here.
you know, who knows? Like,
Hopped on
was
a
he?
boat.
What I was gonna
Yeah.
say though, was he a fisherman? Like, was there something that he did? Like, you don't know anything about this person?
No, very
Oh.
little info about him.
Interesting.
So, and
So-
he's as far back, as we can
Yeah.
trace.
So, you know, it was interesting to do the 23andMe, like, because like there was so much stuff that like I kind of knew about like growing up because my mom's side of the family is so mixed. And then my dad's side, like we could trace like Kevin's family, like my dad's family can trace like everything. But the one thing that popped up in my dad's side was there was some Italian and he had no
Yep.
clue. He was like, what? So that was kind of neat. But like for me, it was like how much like Iberian I had in stuff and like, like from the Asian side and stuff like that. I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, like just how much percentage you have,
My aunt did that.
because
My
you can
aunt
have
did that. Aunt
ancestor,
Lulu.
your ancestors could
Joe
do
wants
stuff,
to do it.
but it doesn't mean you inherit that
Yeah.
DNA. So
Joe
just
wants to do
because
it for Cooper as well to
Yeah,
see
but
how much
that's
of a golden is he.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it is, but
though,
here-
for
Very
animals.
expensive.
here's the thing
It's like
though,
$100.
but here's
Yeah.
the thing, your ancestors say like my ancestors, like my mom has American Indian. I didn't inherit that DNA though. So my ancestors are American Indian, but I don't have that in my DNA.
How is that possible?
It is
Is
possible.
it
You
the
don't get
alien part of
No,
me?
you don't. Not everything gets transferred from both parents. You
So
only
does
get
it
little
tell you what-
snippets of DNA. DNA is different than your aunts. Like, so my ancestors, my mom had a very small percentage. So by the time it got to me, it was already washed out. So same thing like with Kevin having such a low percentage of the Irish. It's just because it's been watered down. I think
and low percent. It's still
DNA
like 27% or something.
it's low.
So yeah,
I had like 30 something. I had more than you.
And she's gonna hold that over your head.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
aunt
So-
did a 23andMe.
Yeah.
My aunt Lucille, my dad's sister, and she was telling me that there was that they had Middle Eastern blood in them.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And
it's
I'm like,
really crazy.
I have no desire to do the 23andMe.
Why?
I don't-
It's really interesting because it also connects you.
me.
So okay, well anyway,
I-
but hold
I-
on one second. I want to say something about
okay.
this DNA because they actually have a video on 23andMe that anybody can watch because it really explains to you how you inherit stuff, like how you get that part of the DNA, like what's your inheritance stuff and what's just your ancestry stuff. So like you don't get everything. Like you don't get 50% of your dad and 50% of your mom. You might get almost 80% of just what your dad is, nothing of your mom, like hardly anything of your mom.
So
And
I'm gonna
it's-
pay a lot of money to find out.
No,
that
but
I don't-
males,
that-
listen, you're not listening. You didn't let me finish.
Are you clapping and
Males,
talking at the
Oh
same
my
time?
god!
Whoa.
males are the
That's
better
on fire.
candidates. The candidates for the DNA than
Yeah.
women are. It's the male genes, like the male side.
because you can trace a male back to
Yeah, like the beginning of time.
thousands of generations.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, if I do that history, right, that I'm gonna be like, hey, listen, look, I freaking have Native American in my family. Oh, but it ain't. So I'm gonna pay money to learn that I don't have that in my DNA.
Now and then I did the medical on top of it. So like
Yeah, I didn't do that.
what I'm predisposed for. So the only thing I'm predisposed for is late onset Alzheimer's, and like that's just in my DNA. Like that could be.
You know, it's interesting because it asks you to do these quizzes. So like it kind of narrows down stuff like things that you might have never realized, like that you have like an intolerance to or something, or it like says like things you could be sensitive to, and there's been a couple that have been dead on, and I'm like, what the hell?
But is it
Like,
is it true, or is it like when you read a
Yeah.
horoscope?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's your
and you're
like going
and-
to a psychic.
and your DNA is constantly updating. So as they get more people,
Mhm.
so basically they
You
need
get
a
new
base.
version of it.
They need a baseline of those people that absolutely know their heritage,
right.
and so they're basing other people's DNAs off that. So at one point I had like 1% Italian, but now that's gone. Like
Mhm.
that's no longer in my DNA.
Right. And
So
so
yeah, so
I don't know. See, now they're losing me. They had me hooked
no,
into it.
because
Yes.
you're not
earlier.
explaining
Now
it
the whole
correctly.
update.
No, I know what you're saying is that you know you have to have a pool of people to accurately give you what your
Yes.
DNA is, and if you don't have an accurate pool of people
yes.
in your lineage to give you
So
your
as
DNA,
more and
they
more people,
guess.
as the pool gets bigger, they're constantly readjusting
Ye-
everybody's DNA.
Yes, but also because
So
the
do they
more
send you updates?
Yes, I get updates like once a week of like not only of
Once a
what my
week?
DNA is of
What's wrong
like
with your
the,
DNA, Kev.
Jesus.
Yeah, no,
Where is
no,
this
like
at?
yeah.
I
Some
don't feel like
freaking
he's
lab
explaining
somewhere.
it properly. I know what he's saying because I understand it from that level, but it's also the people who are doing it from Ancestry because it uploads from other sites like DNA sites too. You can connect them. But like the 23andMe, the more people who do the 23andMe, the more data they have. So like it can update more. So like your percentage might change because now you have a second cousin that did the 23andMe, not a third or fourth or fifth.
I'm pretty
So
sure it's
it's-
exactly what I just said.
You didn't say it like that.
Yeah, I understood what you said. I understood what you
Yeah.
meant. You have to have more
You gotta
people
break it down.
from your lineage that goes in there, and obviously
Right.
the people closer to your
Yes.
relation, it'll be
It's
give you an
statistics.
accurate. But
Right.
until then, they're just going to give you a statistic.
Right.
Like if I'm the only person from my family that gives DNA, how are they going to know what my DNA is? Then?
Yeah. Okay.
But you might be surprised. You don't know how many people in your family have done it that you don't know.
I know, but I'm asking you the question of, well, what if I'm the only one?
Well, then if you're the only one, then
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that because I'm assuming I'm
not going to be a dick.
Yeah.
more people have done it.
Yeah,
So
well,
there should be a
yeah,
baseline for you.
just the other day or last week, whenever it was, I got an alert that 20, like it was like 23, 25, whatever, new family members
Yeah.
that were related to me had joined and then submitted, and then you can see their fourth cousins,
I
fifth
don't know if I
cousins.
care enough.
Do they give you names of the people?
Yeah,
Yes,
you can contact them
if,
if they
if-
want to be
like-
contacted.
like-
Oh, see,
See, I
No,
don't
like
people
I don't
know
like-
me.
no,
yeah,
when you
I don't
do
like that.
no, when you do the
You don't have
23andMe and the ancestry, you can either keep it private or you can
Okay.
make it public.
Right.
I chose to make mine public
Yeah.
so I can
No.
find other relatives. But no, you can keep it just private.
Yeah, so I met a couple people who've reached out to me that are on my mom's side of the family that are from Jamaica because my mom's grandmother was born in Jamaica. And so that was kind of cool. That side of the family, you know, there's a couple people on 23andMe that reached out and then
Right.
I connected them to like my mom. And, you know, so now my family tree is starting to come together because there was a lot of stuff that none of us like were told by my grandfather's family and stuff, like my mom's father's family, because like back then, like I said, if you know, the family was so mixed that, you know, they hid stuff, you know, so
Right.
now we're able to kind of find some stuff. And I know my one aunt did like a ton of stuff on like ancestry.com and started doing our family tree. And it was just, it's really, for me, it's cool because I like that kind of knowledge. It's not so much like, I don't care if somebody has, everyone's like, oh, you're giving your DNA. Well, they can go in the garbage and take the cup you just threw away and get your DNA. So like whatever about the DNA stuff, that doesn't bother me. But like, I like the fact that it can connect me to like roots that I didn't know I had or like
Right.
things that I was curious about.
Well, when I was up at the Vintage, when Jeffrey Amendola did his rolling event, and I went live. That was a couple of weeks ago. We're in North Carolina. I'm sitting there,
Yeah.
and Jeffrey goes, "Yo, this guy has the same last name as yours." Now, when you have a last name like mine,
Yeah.
when you come across someone who has a last name like yours, is very rare, right? So he and I started talking. I think he said he was from Indiana originally, so we really couldn't like make any connections of family members. And his father, he was half Filipino, I think was his background. But we exchanged, cards and stuff because it was pretty cool because the odds of being at least having some sort of relation are probably close because I know my dad's run into some folks along the way, and you start talking because we had family members who left and went out, to the Midwest. They went to Chicago. So we have family members up in that area and so on and so forth. And then at night when I went to, I said, hey, I'd like to have a drink. And they said, do you have a tab? I said, yeah, horny. And they said, Greg. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm here to close up my tab. Greg, no, that's not me.
Yeah. Kerr, you just had the one water. Hey,
Yep, that was me. Oh,
that
the water's
one's me.
free. Thank you.
No, the guy was a super nice guy. We started shooting the shit and stuff. So, I do find that interesting, but I don't know if I'd ever take it to that next level of setting my DNA in and to get the history. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're talking about bar and tabs. I was at an event with Kevin Parrow from the New England Cigar Militia, and there were some cigar influencers there, some ladies that were there. So at the end of the night, towards the end of that, I go to close out my tab. They gave me my tab. And I go, wow, that's kind of expensive. And she's like this. I go, no, I only drink Bacardi and Diet.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows that. I should have like 6 Bacardi and Diets on my tab or whatever it was. She's like, well, I see all those and I see these drinks. And then like the girls just said, put it on Kevin's tab. And I go, oh, must mean Kevin Parrow. There's another Kevin in the back. Well, no, it's another Kevin in the back room. The guy was standing right next to me. Yeah. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll just put it on his tab. So then I pay my tab and go back in the back room, and Eric Espinoza and the guys were there. I look at Kevin, I go, hey, they tried to put some of the drinks that you bought for these girls on my tab. She's like, and he goes, I didn't buy any drinks for anybody. And I go, well, these girls put their drinks on some guy named Kevin's tab, and it's not me. So he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so he was all like,
yeah, he goes up front, he's like, wasn't me either.
Yeah, but how shady, how shitty of that, and that happens, I think quite a bit.
I'm sure
they just thought Cigar Prop was going to buy some drinks.
Well, no, we used to do that as a joke when we're at, when we go out company events back in, years ago in pharmaceuticals. It was always like, I'll put it. You find out what someone's room number is, you put it on their tab, but nothing to the greatest extent of just putting shit on someone's tab.
That's ballsy.
That is pretty ballsy.
Yeah. That's definitely something I would never do, ever to anybody.
No,
there's been times where I when I was younger and stuff and at bars and didn't know where I was getting my drinks from. You know what I mean? You just kind of go with the thing, but that's different.
You just go with the flow.
You just drink whatever anybody hands you. God forbid you get roofied. You didn't think about that shit back then.
Could have been some funky Col Medina on that drink.
I didn't. I mean, I don't even know the roofing became more known later on. But when I was 21, you kidding me? Forget it.
Well, no, you're a girl. Girls never pay for it.
I mean, we get in for free.
Yeah.
We don't have to pay a cover or anything. So
no. Do you remember a couple of years ago? And I was older now. It's a couple of years ago. These guys tried to play a joke on me because we were out hanging out, and I had 2 Diet Cokes. That's all I had, and I paid for them. Well, when I woke up the next day when I was checking out, I had a $200 bar tab.
Ooh.
And they thought it was going to be funny to put their bar tab. I lost my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I lost my mind. And they paid for it then. They corrected it. And they were like, man, we're just joking around. I was like, listen, in my 20s, maybe I would have laughed it off. I'm a little too old right now. It's not funny. I'm a crotchety old man.
Exactly.
I have 2 Diet Cokes. I went to bed.
You're like, if I'm paying a $200 tab, I better be feeling that $200 tab this morning.
And I gotta go home and see Jennifer. Hey, you're $200 short this month. Why? Because these guys thought it'd be funny to. No.
Yeah.
Not happening.
No, there's been times where Kevin and I've gone out to events, and then sometimes we are kind of whew, why is our tab so high?
When we go down to Smoke Inn down at Boynton Beach. I'm there for 12 hours. you know, so you lose track of
You
how
do.
much
You definitely
you
lose
know,
track.
yeah, of how
That's
much
different, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
but I
had
mean,
that done.
Yeah.
Done that. That's
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah, but then you're just like, oh shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, Tampa will be fun.
It will be a lot of fun.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it'd be fun to be a good event. Should have
Yeah,
a,
hopefully the weather's a little bit cooler, not so
They'll be
humidity.
fine, no matter what it is.
Humidity. Well, yeah, I just hate the humidity because we'll be outside.
Yeah, it's finally cooled down up here.
I don't like we had last week, it rained.
Yeah.
And it was cool out. And there's nothing worse than cold humidity. I felt every freaking injury I've ever experienced in my life that day. The worst is cold humidity.
Yeah, we didn't have rain for like a whole month? I mean, it rained so much, and then it didn't rain a whole month, and then it rained the last few days. And, but it was like hot.
Yeah.
Hot rain, hot air,
yeah, we didn't get
everything.
We didn't get any rain, and they drop an excavator in our front yard, and it rains.
rains.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there we go. There's the rain.
But it did that when we broke ground on the other edition.
Yeah,
and like when Donnie was doing the plants, it rained,
Yeah.
and he couldn't come for like a month.
Every
because it was
time
like a
we put a shovel in the ground,
it rains.
Here,
Damn.
Quarters, it rains, and
and
the only good thing is they screwed up on the addition. And
well,
like I said,
we still don't know what they're going to do.
Well, with the shed, and they dug the footers for a slab for the shed, and it wasn't supposed to be a concrete slab. So the contractor is going to eat it and just pour a concrete slab.
Oh, did he decide that that's what he's going to do?
Well,
I mean, why would they dig all that up? I mean, I don't know, but hell yeah,
that's awesome.
Nice.
So,
yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting when they start making progress and stuff and as we go. Like right now it just looks so terrible because the ground is so tore up, and it
will get there.
Mounds of I know. At least it's not the living part of the house this time, so I'm okay with it.
Now they're going to start wanting money. That's what
there you go. Now they're going to want money.
I know. Start stroking those checks.
But we're prepared for it. So I mean, like when we were doing the other edition, I mean, it took us like 3 years to kind of save for it. So but that still felt hard to write those checks. Even though we had that money and we had it for a while, and we were like, all right, we're finally going to do this after 3 years. And then it was like, oh my God, it's so much money.
And he shows up. Hey, the slab is poured. I'm going to need about 15 grand right now.
Okay. Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
So it's like that when you get that, you have your money, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna order my cigars.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Well,
people,
here it is. It's like, oh shit, all this in there is, then we gotta make sure we sell it because that money.
Yeah, people don't understand that, Kerr. People, they'll look at, I'll make a comment like, oh yeah, we've sold like 4,000 bleed tools like this year or whatnot. People are like, oh, like all the money you make. And I'm like, I just stopped at the machine shop last week and wrote them a check for like $15,000. So that sucks.
I mean, obviously,
a rotating door.
It
is.
That's just it is.
Yeah,
it's the reinvestment part that I don't think
people,
a lot of people who don't have businesses, and it's just people who don't have businesses or work in a retail setting or any kind of thing like that, they don't realize the amount that you're actually putting out and what you're gaining as far as revenue goes. And you can have some good weeks, good months, good years, and then have some terrible
but it's still reinvesting. I mean, there's I'm actually doing an event in November at Boda Cigars, and I'm doing it with a gentleman who does this cigars and business, and exchange business cards. But I'm doing an event with Stogie Road Cigars, and he's like, okay, what are you going to talk about?
Like, you're telling me about that,
let me think here.
Cigars.
Well, it's talking more about starting your own cigar business, and some of the trials, tribulations, and pitfalls that you run into, especially the first couple of years. It's difficult. It's challenging enough when you have this cycle of building up your product and building up your brand and sending out cigars and getting cigar shops to buy, and then you got to deal with the bad constructions, the issues, the this, the that. And then if you switch a factory, there's a downtime, which can set you back. And then you got to almost, you got to kind of reset your business plan. But
Well,
these
and
are
then,
things that are
then
going to
there's
happen.
your branding too. Your branding is
Yeah.
a huge chunk of
The
it
branding
too.
branding is huge. And the one thing I had an advantage of was branding, Stogie Road for years prior to actually having a cigar.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that was a huge advantage, and getting to know a lot of cigar shops, a lot of people in the industry, and then moving forward with a cigar. Even early on, running into the pitfall of the name.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of do due diligence up front, and then just realize that you're not going to be, buying your first batch of cigars and then selling through it like that and going, hey, I have all this money, because that's got to pay for the next batch of cigars.
Yeah.
And it's as you grow, it's more money, and then you're going to reach that point where, man, it's like you need to do X amount just to get over that hump, because you reach that steady state. So it's going to be an interesting conversation.
No, it's going to be definitely neat. When is that? When are you doing that?
I think November the 11th. I'm going to be posting it. It's November 11th or 12th. I got
10th.
Is it the 10th or the 10th? One of those days.
The 10th.
And the guys at Boda's is awesome guys. I mean, Dave, everybody down there is just one of my favorite shops. Really huge supporters of local business, local cigar brand owners. So when I go to some of the shops locally and I start talking about cigars, and they start going, well, I said, listen, the cornerstone of the brick and mortar is the battle cry is support your brick and mortar, support your local business. That's a two-way street, man. That's so if you have local business that can be displayed or sold in your shop, and you want them to support you, then it got to go both ways. I don't care if you have a local guy making cigars or you have a local guy making lighters or cutters. If you have, if the expectation is to support your local business, you have to live and die by that credo.
It's interesting that you say that too, though, because when I first met Kevin, I did not realize like the relationships that Kevin has built over the years. Obviously I know you grew up around here, so you do know a lot of people, but it is supporting local businesses. Kevin will give his business to a local person before he would source it out to a big company, and it, especially when we started Cigar Prop, I mean, just trying to find local machinists and all that stuff, and how many people we've kind of given opportunities to. I mean, it was freaking tough, but I think it's important to build those relationships, and he's gotten so much more from doing that, from people staying local than going out to a bigger company.
And Kevin and I talked about this too. The worst is when you try and give your business locally.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating.
And they don't want your money.
And then you're sitting there going, I'm not asking you to do this for free.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you money, and then I'm going to get something in return. And then your hand is forced to do a bigger company or go somewhere that does national, whether it's Sticker Mule or whatever. And it's like, I'm trying to get this guy to do my stickers, or I'm trying to get this guy to do this, or I'm trying to get this person. It's
true. You're absolutely right about
someone going, here's my money, and they're like, and I'm like, listen, the guys who did the art here did a fantastic job, but you would have thought that I was asking them just to throw me a freebie, and it was really frustrating because I had wanted to have them as a surprise when Jennifer got home, but it's after a period of time, and you wonder why someone's going to go online and go to Sticker Mule or go to what's the other place? Vistaprint and get their shit done.
I know, and it's awful, but I know there's been a ton of times where Kevin's used Office Depot for stuff. I mean, there used to be a local place that we used to get your Beard Bomb stickers from, but then you stopped using them because it was so much more expensive. They were charging way more.
I mean, and I don't mind paying a little bit more, but it's 10 times more. Even I'm still waiting on another prototype for my bleed tool nub tool. I sent my last prototype. I contracted it out to a company in China, and literally I had to go to China, and it was a 4-week turnaround, quick. I've been waiting 8 weeks for my last one from a local guy here.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd
That's
throw-
frustrating, man.
and it's just and it's just like I should have just gone back to China, you know, and it just
China.
See, I
China.
told you. It takes the kids trick or treating.
yeah.
See,
So
it's Halloween. People
that's
were
it.
trick or treating
So-
with their
all right,
kids.
well, on that note,
Happy Halloween.
happy
Happy
Halloween.
Halloween.
Oh, hold on. Happy
Yeah,
Happy
and
Halloween.
I'm Bully Macho Man.
I'm Bully Kevin.
I'm Bully.
I'm Bully Kerr.
And remember,
Bullies
make good
friends.
From Kev, Jess, Kerr, and Jen, we are the Broadleaf Bullies. Thank you for joining us, and remember, bullies make good friends.